Welcome back. In this video, we will discuss the newly introduced function in Excel, which is the XLOOKUP function. This function is available in Microsoft Office 365 and newer versions of Excel. It is not available in earlier versions of Excel. It is quite an interesting feature, so please look at this video till the end. If you like this video, please click on the like button and don't forget to share it with your friends and colleagues. There are various advantages of using the XLOOKUP function. So it can look up both the horizontal and the vertical ranges. This function does not break when we insert a row or column in between the data set, as was the case for the VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, index and match function. XLOOKUP can help you get the value both from the left as well as right of the lookup range. It can help you get values from cells above as well as cells below the lookup range. So this is a great feature which was not available in the VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP function. It helps you find the first as well as the last occurrence of the value. It does an exact match by default, but can also find the nearest number if the exact match is not found. It also helps in error handling in case the lookup value is not present in the data source. So there is a feature which helps us handle the errors. It can return a range of cells or a single cell, as was done by the index function, and it also supports the wildcards for partial matches. Let's quickly look at the XLOOKUP syntax. In XLOOKUP, we need 6 inputs. The first 3 in bold are compulsory ones, and the last 3 are optional. So lookup value is the value which we want to search for. The lookup array is the array or range where we want to search for the value. The return array is the array or the range we want to be returned by the XLOOKUP function if not found. So this is the value to return if the lookup value is not found. Then we have an option to give the match mode, where the user has to specify how to match the lookup value against the value in the lookup array. And the search mode, here the user has to specify the search mode to use. So the by default, a first to last search mode is used in the formula, but there's an option to search from last to first. In this video, we will discuss 4 examples covering how to use XLOOKUP instead of VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, and what if the value is not found. So this is the first example. So here we will compare XLOOKUP with the existing VLOOKUP function. We have the employee IDs, the name of the employees, and the annual salaries. So first we will use the VLOOKUP function to pull the name of the employee and the annual salary. So we will use VLOOKUP. The lookup value is the employee ID. The table range, column number is 2 for the employee IDs. We need an exact match, so 0 and then enter. So we get the name of the employee. Similarly, we will pull the annual salary. So we have name of the employee and annual salary using the VLOOKUP function. We can pull the same data using the XLOOKUP function also. So for XLOOKUP, we will type XLOOKUP. The lookup value is the employee ID. Lookup array is the column with the employee IDs. Then the third input is the return array, which is the column with the name of the employees. close the bracket and enter. So we get the name of the employees. Similarly, we can pull the annual salary. Lookup array is the employee ID column, and the return value can be looked at in the annual salary column. Need an exact match, so no further entries. So we get the annual salaries and employee names using the XLOOKUP function as well. Now, for some reason, if we enter a new column in the data, so what happens to our formulas? The VLOOKUP crashes. Because we have entered the column number, which is the third column, so when we enter a new column, it takes the data from the third column, but there's no data here, so the salary changes to 0. But the XLOOKUP function does not crash. So this gives the same value because in this formula, we have linked the values to the actual columns. So this is the advantage of using XLOOKUP over VLOOKUP. Moving to the second example. So here we have the same data of the employee ID, the name of the employees, the annual salaries arranged horizontally, and we can use the HLOOKUP or the XLOOKUP function to pull the salary of the employees. So first we will use the HLOOKUP function. So to use the HLOOKUP, we'll type HLOOKUP. The lookup value is the employee ID. Then select the table range. Salary is in the third row, so type 3. And then we need an exact match. Enter. So we get the salary for employee 170005, which is 150248. Now this can also be done using XLOOKUP. So the lookup value is the employee ID, the lookup array, the row with the employee ID, and the return value is in the annual salary row. Close the bracket, enter. So we get the annual salary using XLOOKUP function also. Now, if there is a new row which is inserted between the annual salary and name of the employee, the HLOOKUP, again like a VLOOKUP, crashes, giving a value of 0 because we have given the number of the row in the formula, but XLOOKUP doesn't crash. So this is an example showing the advantage of using the XLOOKUP function over the HLOOKUP function. Third example. So here in VLOOKUP, we can pull the data only for the values to the right. So if the employee ID is in column B, the values have to be towards the right from column C onwards. But this is not the case for the XLOOKUP function. So here we have the same data, we have the name of the employee, and we want to pull the employee ID and the annual salary. So to pull the employee ID, we will use XLOOKUP. Lookup value is the employee name. Where should it look for the employee name? It is in column C. Now, where should it look for employee ID? It is towards left of column C, which is column B, and then close bracket, enter. So we get the employee ID for John Doe. To pull the employee salary, the XLOOKUP can also look towards the right as we looked in our previous example. So we can type XLOOKUP, link it to the name of employee. Where should it look? Column C. Annual salary is present in column E. Close the bracket, enter. So we get the annual salary of the employee. So XLOOKUP pulls the value both from the right and left of the lookup range. This is another good advantage of using the XLOOKUP function, which was not possible using the VLOOKUP function. Similarly, In HLOOKUP function, the values can only be pulled from the rows below the lookup value. So if employee ID is in row 5, the values have to be from row 6 onwards. But this is not the case if we look at the XLOOKUP function. So values can be pulled from above or below the lookup value. Moving to the next example. So XLOOKUP is able to handle errors in case the lookup value is not present in the data source. So if going to the VLOOKUP example, if we say that we need the input for employee 170015, which is not present, so we get an error and we don't know how to fix this error. It is possible to fix this error in the XLOOKUP function. So we have the list of employees, the annual salary and the bonus percentages, and we want to pull the annual salary of the employees from the employee ID. So first we'll pull the data for the first employee. So we'll use XLOOKUP. Lookup value is the employee ID. Lookup in column B. Return range is column C. And then we will enter the fourth input. The fourth input is XLOOKUP asks what if the value is not found. So we will enter 0. So in case the value is not found, it can enter 0 or it can enter not available. So we'll look at both. So if we write 0 over here and enter, so we get the salary. Now we just fix the ranges for now you copy Ctrl C and paste this formula, so we get a 0. In case we didn't use the fourth option or the fourth input, then we would get an error. 17005 is present, but 170020 is not present in the database. So if we remove the 0 and enter the formula, we get NA. So this is how we can use XLOOKUP if the value is not present in the data source. In case we want to write something else instead of 0, let's say not applicable. So in inverted commas, we will write NA, close the inverted commas, then so we get an NA if the value is not present. Now, if we change the value to 170012, we get the number for 170012 because it is present in the data source. This is another good advantage of using the XLOOKUP function. So we have covered 4 examples of how to use XLOOKUP function. In our next video, we will cover another few examples covering other advantages of using the XLOOKUP function. Hope you liked this video. Thank you.